All right. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. If you're just joining, you are now into the My Econ Business Associate Training tonight. Tonight we're gonna go over a few things, but real before we go over that, one quick announcement that I wanted to make is that come February 19th through the 21st is our first quarterly game changer. Okay. Um, you can go and register or look at registration information at www.iam-gamechanger.com. Go to that website link, look at all the registration information. By all means, go ahead and register. Typically, what happens is every quarter we will have a quarterly conference meeting, if you will. In that meeting, we get a lot of business tips, a lot of business building advice, how just basically how to build your business. You also get some training from the founder, Mr. Ivy Stokes, and also from the co-founder, Mr. Alvin Curry, on taxes, debt elimination, investing, the whole nine. So you don't want to miss that. So if you will, go out there and register, and it will be at the Crown Plaza Hotel, located by the airport. That's where we typically would have it at. But all the information is out there on that web link that I just gave you. So let me repeat the web address again. It's www.iam-agamechanger.com. Okay. I got everybody on mute. I wanted to go ahead and put everybody in presentation mode because I heard a whole lot of noise in the background. For those who are out there on Periscope land, good evening. If you will, go ahead and share it out to all your other business partners. Swipe up and down for Android, swipe left and right for iPhone. Those who are on join.me, good evening. For those this is your first time, particularly the ones who are that just became business owners, my econ business owners during the promo, what we like to do is like to have training webinars such as this that's going to help you get your business going, get your first of all, get your financial IQ up, get your confidence up, right? Because that's what we basically want is everybody confidence level to understand that what we're doing is going to help them improve their finances, all right? That's the main thing. We want to build confidence in everybody. So that way, when you have confidence, now you're able to go talk to others about what's happening or resonating in your life, okay? Now, for those who are new, I know we've been welcoming everybody as they came on board, but let me welcome you again. So you're in the right place at the right time if you're looking or we're seeking to improve your finances, okay? And just know that you in a community of believers. You in a community of believers who believe that we were not made here to struggle financially. In Deuteronomy 8:18, where it says that God has given us all the power to create wealth, we have to believe that. We have to believe that. Now, in this business, we show you or help you get that belief because we show you facts. You're going to learn facts about how money works in this society. So you came into a business called My Econ, which is short for My Economy. Now, we know there is the economy that we live in, and we can't affect or have a direct effect on the economy, or we cannot control the economy unless we control our economy. But in order for us to control our economy, we have to know how the economy works, because that is the society that we reside in. So before we can control our economy, let's learn the economy. We hear all the time about presidents, uh, elected officials want to come in and have tax reforms and things of that nature. But I'm here to tell you that it will never happen because the tax system, the way that is laid out right now, support capitalism. Okay? It support capitalism. So, and that's what makes this country go around is capitalism. So they're not going to change the tax laws to get rid of the capitalism because capitalism helped this society generate revenue. So our best bet is to learn how capitalism works and then understand how who gets the benefits by sitting on either the right side of capitalism or the wrong side of capitalism. We want everybody to be on the right side of capitalism so you can get the benefits for being on the right side of capitalism. Just know that the way that the tax laws are written is whispering to us, get in the right tax system, meaning become a business owner or an investor, and we'll give you the tax savings because of it. If you're a wage income owner by yourself, then the government is saying you're only entitled to limited tax savings through standard tax credits and standard itemized deductions. We're business owners. We want more than the standard. We want extraordinary, meaning we want more itemized deductions. So we have to position ourselves to get itemized deductions. They don't come automatically, okay? So tonight what we wanted to do is particularly get all of our new business owners up to speed. This probably may be a refresher for the ones who've been in it, because we know during the promotion it was fast paced and a lot of things that we went through, and you're probably saying, okay, what do I need to do? What's my next step? Well, tonight I'm gonna help you with that next step through some training. All right. So tonight what we're gonna go over is three things. We're gonna talk about your cash flow manager, how to get it set up for those who have not gotten it set up. We're gonna do a back office familiarization where I'm gonna show you in your back office some business tools that you have at your fingertips. And lastly, we're going to talk about your W-4. I know everybody, we're at the beginning of the year, and I know everybody wants to see what this whole hoopla about us talking about changing your W-4. So we're going to go through that, okay? All right? So let's get started. Let's make the magic happen. Let me take a little sip here because I'm already getting cotton mouth. All right. So can everybody see Periscope, y'all can see my screen. For the folks out at join.me, I got you on mute. So in the text box, let me know if you're able to see my screen before I get started. Anybody out there in join.me is connected, let me know that you can see my screen. I just need one or two yes. Okay, I got one yes right there. So that's enough. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, let's get started. All right. Right now, what you're seeing is my back office in which all the business associates have the same view. This is called your back office. I know during the promo, a lot of folks were asking, what am I getting for my $34.95? Let me go through that and let me show you what you're going to get for your $34.95. One thing I'm gonna stress to everybody here, there is a big difference when it comes to cost versus value. I'm gonna help y'all understand that tonight, okay? There is a big difference between cost and value. All right? So the cost was $34.95, which you're paying monthly for these tools and services, right? That's your cost. Let me show you the value. So value number one is you get a ready-made website, a MyEcon website. So basically when you go to your home page, this is what you're going to get. On your home page, okay, what you have is a way for anyone that you want to share information to where they can come to your homepage and they can quickly get educated. All right. And the way that they line it up, because we try to understand folks. We have a good understanding of folks' mentality. You have folks who like to read, and you have folks who like to watch a video. Okay, so your website is laid out as such. So if they want to know, well, let's take this first section here. If they want to know what why choose my econ, they can read about it, and if they want to, they can click more or read more. And they can read about it. If they're not a reader, guess what? They can watch a video. Okay? They can watch a video. The next section on your home page is minimize tax strategy. Same thing here. They can read about it if they want to, if they're readers, or if they want to watch a video, let them click on the video and watch it. Business income strategy, same thing. Asset accumulation, same thing. Then at the bottom, if they like what they see and they're ready to go, guess what? Now they can self-enroll themselves by hitting join now. Okay? Now, if they have questions after all that, then it's just a matter of you all doing a three-way call with your sponsorship. Okay? And that will be in another training where we're going to talk about three-way calling and what to say and what not to say, things of that nature. But that's for another webinar, okay? That's for another training. But I want you to know that you can use your website as a marketing tool to send folks to for them. They can get educated on the income shifting strategies that we use in our business, okay? So I wanted to point this out because a lot of the new business associates are pretty much saying, I don't know enough to talk to anybody. And here's the thing. You don't have to know a whole lot to talk to someone because we don't want you to talk to no one. Send them to your website and let them get self-educated. If they have a question, then do a three-way with your sponsorship and let your sponsorship do all the talking for you. In this business, I said earlier, you in the business where you have a body of believers. Those same body of believers are your support vessel. I highly recommend using your support vessel until you get your IQ up about taxes, debt elimination, things of that nature. You don't have to talk. Let your supporting system do all the talking for you. We have mounds of tools that we can point someone to get their questions answered. Majority of the questions that people ask, it can get answered from a tool that we have, okay? But this is probably be the first thing that I would send folks to if they want to know more about my econ, okay? So this is your website, your home page. Market your home page, okay? All you got to do is copy your my econ link, put it in a text or in an email, send it out to your friends, family, neighbors, strangers, whatever the case may be. Okay? Now, let's go back into the back office. So this is what your back office looks like. All right. The other thing that your $34.95 is paying is these 6 services that you see before you here. Cashflow Manager, ID Defender, key logging, legal, tax advice, credit restoration, okay? These are the other services that you're getting for your $34.95, all right? Up at the top, I want y'all to take a look at, hold on. All right, at the top, training. All right, so in here you have the 3 income shifting strategies in here, okay? If you click on, let's click on minimize tax strategy. And what happens is it's going to open up a list of videos. These are recorded videos that you can listen to at your spare time. See, we want it to be where you don't have to wait on Cedric to show you how to do a W-4. We don't want to wait on Mr. Stinson to show you how to write off car and truck expenses. You have videos in here that are conducted by the founder himself, Ivy Stokes, that will hold your hand literally on the how-tos. So we don't have to necessarily wait on a webinar such as this tonight to do that. As a matter of fact, look what we have here. Look at the second video that we have here. Tax withholding video on a W-4. So if you want to know how to fill out a W-4, guess what? You have a video in your back office to where you can launch, you print out a W-4, and you can follow along with Mr. Ivy Stokes. Now, I'll tell you this. I can help everybody fill out a W-4, in which we're going to do tonight, but I can't serve any justice to the founder himself as far as filling out a W-4. So after tonight, if once we fill out the W-4 and it doesn't feel like you have some questions or what have you, go back to your back office and pull up this video. Also, as you enroll new associates, point them to this video. Show them that this is what they have in their back office. So this way, they can go and fill out the W-4 themselves just by listening to the video. We have mounds of folks that come into the business all the time, and it's very challenging to where we will be able to sit down one by one with each new person to fill out a W-4. There are times to where we can handle the onesies and twosies as they come in, but then if you're getting mounds of folks to come in, then the next recommendation is to go into your back office and look at the W-4. And the W-4 video will help you fill out the W-4. I promise you it will. I do it. As a matter of fact, if I'm helping someone fill out a W-4, I crank this video. There are times where I may talk the form front and back, but for the most part, I let Ivy Stokes talk for me. Again, that's using your tools. Okay? So you have miles of training in your back office. I highly recommend using them, okay? We in this business, we need to posture ourselves to where we learn as we earn. And we also want to teach, we want to culture independence. If we want financial independence, then that means we need to be independently want to learn some things. And so the system is designed, and when I say the system, your MyEcon system is designed to allow you to operate independently. Everybody, when they enroll, they sign an independent business owner agreement, okay? Everybody signed an independent business owner agreement. So everybody has their own business. You in business for yourself, but just know you're not in business by yourself. So you have a supporting cast, and these tools are another support vessel, okay? I just want to point out, you have some training videos in your back office that I want you all to use at your discretion or at your leisure. Everybody has their own set schedule, they juggling family and whatnot. And so these videos will be very convenient for you because now you can watch these videos on your own terms. All right, the second strategy is business income. Again, you click on the business income strategy and you will have videos. And the same thing for asset accumulation strategy. Okay, so that's training. Let's go to meetings. Here's where we can find meetings. If you want to know about Mr. Ivy Stokes meetings, just click on this link here. Actually, let's do this. Let me get my keyboard here. So you put in a zip code, put in your mile range, and do a search. And lo and behold, here's a meeting. This one is an upcoming meeting here in Homewood Public Library 1721 Oxmoor Road in Birmingham, Alabama. That's on January 23rd. I should try to make that one too. But if you want to know about meetings, this is where you can go to find meetings. All right. I'm gonna skip on over here to my account. My account, this is where you change your personal account maintenance. So here, you can go in here and change all your demographics on your personal self. You can even upload a picture. You can add a website of your choice in there for someone to show up that shows up on your home page. Like if you have a blog website or if you have a attraction marketing website, you can put that there and it will display on your home page. Hold on for a sec. All right. Anyone out there on join.me? I see someone say they can't hear me. Can everybody out there on join.me hear me? Just chat. Just type in the chat box and let me know that you can hear me. Okay. So for the viewer that says they're not able to hear me, you might want to check on your end to see whether or not if you can check your settings on your phone or your computer. I'm not real sure where you're connected to, but majority of the community that's folks that's logged in can hear me. You might want to disconnect and then try to connect back to see whether or not that would clear it up. Okay? All right, let me move it along because I don't want to keep everybody all night. All right, email settings. This is where you can change your personal email, okay? This is where you can change your personal email. So if you got another email address that you want to use to where the My Econ emailing system will send you to, then this is the email. This is where you can change that email address. Of course, change password. You do that here. Your auto draft setting. You can go in here and update your credit card information just by hitting edit auto draft information. So if you got a card that you know is about to cancel, this is where you need to go and hold on. Okay, hold on. Periscope viewers, can you see the screen now? I'm talking to my Periscope viewers. Can you see the screen? Okay, roger that. All right, back to training. All right. So if you got a credit card that's about to expire, then by all means you can go into this section and hit edit auto draft information, and then it'll allow you to update your information. Okay. Yeah. For some reason, for the Periscope viewers, it is a little blurry for some reason. I don't understand why it is, and it could be the reflection from the computer screen that's probably making it blurry. I'm trying to back off or make it closer. Yeah, so for those who are out there on Periscope, try to see if you can hit go to join.me, and it may be a clear view. Let's see. Hold on. Let me do this. Yeah. If you got an iPhone, go out to the Go out to the Apple Store, get Join.me app. If you're Android, go to Google Play and get Join.me. All right. All right. Let me move this along here, because I know I'm going to have some technical difficulties. I'm always running into them, but I don't want to. We're not going to allow technical difficulties to interrupt the training. We're going to try our best to move through it. All right. We're going to move through technical difficulties. We don't believe in allowing things to slow us down. All right. So now let's go to, oh yeah, by the way, this is recorded. So if by chance you can't see it now, I will make sure that I put a replay out there on the team page and for our Periscope viewers to allow you to get to it. Okay, it is recorded, so don't worry about it if you can't see everything clear now. Okay, it is recorded. All right, the next thing that you got here is a coupon center. And everybody has this coupon center in their back office. You can use this coupon center at your discretion. And as you can see during the promo, look what I did. I'm building a business, and I'm building it based on providing coupons for folks. So I'm sowing a seed to help folks start a business. You can do the same as well. Look at it this way. Your coupon is a business expense. Your business expense is a tax deduction. So you're not losing the money because you're going to write it off at the end of the year. All right? But use your coupon at your disposal. When you start talking to folks about the business, you'll know what kind of situation they're in. And so now if they strap for money and you want to sow a seed, here's your seed center. Use the coupon if you want to really and truly help them, okay? But everybody have this coupon center in their back office to use, all right? So that is your coupon center. All right, let's go to tools. I'm not going to go into these tools, but I'll just call them out. But you have these, you have access to these tools in your back office. You got the Cashflow Manager Strategist. All that is another app, which is also on your phone. This is an app that's going to give you a blueprint or a GPS as far as how you're going to reach your financial goals. I'll do another webinar on Cashflow Strategist. I did one a while back, but I'm gonna do a more up-to-date Cashflow Manager Strategist webinar. You got a balance sheet, okay? You also got the Cashflow Success. You got financial calculators. You got an activity log. You got your ID Defender, and lastly, you got your Cashflow Manager. Okay, you can go to your Cashflow Manager from within here, from out of your back office. So that is a good segue into going into Cashflow Manager. But before we get started, are there any questions on? Hold on, before I do that, let me take you off mute. All right, so before we go into the Cashflow Manager training.
Oh.
Hold on. So I put it back in presentation mode because I had a lot of feedback in the background. A lot of folks didn't mute. So if you have a question for the folks in join.me, if you have a question, go ahead and type it in the chat box. For the Periscope viewers, if you have a question about the back office familiarization, go ahead and chat in the box. Type in the chat box as far as your questions. Any question with the back office familiarization? Okay. If there are no other questions, we're going to go into the cash flow manager training. All right. So what you see is my cash flow manager. So what I want to do first is, particularly with the new business associates, is this. You can access your cash flow manager from your computer or from your phone. I don't think I helped everybody set up their cash flow manager on the phone, but the cash flow manager is not an app. You don't go to the Google Play Store or the Apple Store to get your app. It is a web app. And what I mean by that is all it does is uses your mobile device. Is a browser-based application. So for the ones who are wanting to set it up on your phone, here's what you need to do. And you can find this in your back office as well. You would need to have this link on your phone. Okay? Once you access this link from your phone, then you have to save your icon to your home screen. And this way you don't have to physically type out this web address. So simply open up this web browser, or go to this link from your mobile device, and then from there, if you're Android, you can hit the three little dots in the top right hand corner, and then do add to home screen. For your iPhone users, the only thing that you really need to do, at the bottom of your iPhone, there is a picture of a book, and right to the far left, there is a little square with an arrow pointing out. When you click that arrow, then from there, you want to do add bookmark or add to home screen from there. Once you add it to your home screen, it will put a nice little cash flow manager icon on your home screen. And all you have to do is click on that icon, and it will take you into your cash flow manager, okay? If you still have some problems getting that set up on your mobile devices, because you can access it, you can put it on any mobile device that has a web browser, whether it be a tablet or a cell phone. If you still have problems, get with your sponsorship so they can help you get that set up. If the sponsorship so happen to be me, give me a call and let me know, okay? So let's go back into the cash flow manager. All right, so if you haven't set up your profile yet, let's go through and set one up. All right. So the first thing that you want to do is create. Let's go back. Well, actually, we're here. You want to click on create a new cash flow manager. It will take you to this screen right here. In this screen where it says cash flow manager type, you want to select business. In the cash flow manager name, you give it a business name. It doesn't matter. It's all personal preference. You can give it any name that you want to give it. All you want to do is give it a name to create a profile to where you can start tracking your deductions. After you gave it a name, then all you got to do is hit save file. Hit save file. Once you do that, then it will take you to this dashboard. Okay. Now at the top, I know y'all see all these reoccurring events and reoccurring expenses. The join.me code. Hold on. Give me a second here. Join.me code. Okay, so if anyone out on Periscope and they want the join.me code, is CJE N T E R E P R I S E S. So that actually should be CJ Enterprises with an S at the end. That's the join.me code. Or are you dialing in? If you're dialing in, let me know, because that's a different access code. All right, so let me continue on with the training here. So right now, you're looking at the dashboard. So what you have here are, you have 8 different functionalities here that's going to allow you to keep up with your deductions, all right? Your top 4 buttons, those are your edit buttons, okay? You can enter new income. That's when you get your commission checks or whatnot. You can enter new income, enter new expense. This is where you're going to enter your expenses. You can enter a budget, and there is a budget application in there. And then you can edit new reoccurring expenses, and I'll show y'all that a little bit later on. Down at the bottom, you can go in there and edit anything that you put in there, whether it's income, expenses. You also got a preference to where it gives you a different view preference. And also, you have a button here that shows your unassigned receipts, to where now you can assign your receipts. All right. So let's go through this real quick as far as setting up or entering a expense from your computer. The same rule applies if you're doing it from your iPhone or from your mobile device. The screens will look the same. All right. Anything that's done on your computer, you'll see it on your phone. Anything that's done on your phone, you'll see it on your computer. All right. So let's go in here and enter expense. Well, actually, let's take one that I need to confirm up here. So let's go with this Cashflow Manager software. So here's what we got. This is what your screen will look like when you're in enter mode. So at the very top, what you have is select expense type. And when you hit the drop down arrow, look at your list of expenses that you can write off. Look at the expenses that you can write off. Now, would everyone would agree that this list that you're looking at is part of your lifestyle, right? I think everybody would agree of that. So when I talked about earlier about the cost of the $34.95 versus the value of $34.95, I'm showing y'all what y'all getting in your back office is the value. This is also another value. That $34.95 is more powerful than what you think, because it opened up the doors for you to deduct this stuff that you wasn't doing before. This is where the tax savings come in. Remember when I talked about the short form versus long form? There is no way that you can fill out a Schedule A and claim all these deductions. You need a Schedule C to do this. I hope everybody understand what I'm saying. You should never want to not have or want tax savings. Everybody that's getting money in their hand always want tax savings. But in order to do that, you have to do certain things. You have to be in the right position to get tax savings. Filling out a Schedule A is not where you're going to see tax savings. However, filling out a Schedule C is where you will get tax savings. And everybody that's on the call is a business owner. Now you'll be filing a Schedule C when it comes time to file your taxes. So that $34.95, it has more value than a lot of folks think. yes, it gives you all those services that I talked about earlier in the back office, but it also opened up the floodgate for you to have access to these lists of deductions that I'm showing you, or that you can see in your Cashflow Manager software. All right. So that's your expense type. Now, the next thing is the date. Here's the thing: when the IRS, if the IRS want to come and check your record keeping, because it's all about record keeping, these are the things that the IRS wants to see. All right, these are the things that the IRS wants to see. So you got the expense type, you got the date of when the expense took place. Now you have to enter the amount of the expense. Okay. The next thing, the who. The who could be, let's give a scenario, you out eating, you out Applebee's. Okay, the who will be Applebee's. The what would be having dinner with so-and-so, so-and-so. That's your what. The where is your city and state. And the notes field. It's optional, but it's not a required field. If you want to get more descriptive about your expense type, or about your expense, you can annotate it here in the notes field. But basically, as long as you got the expense type, the date, the amount, the who, the what, and the where, your record keeping is done. Now, if you have a receipt that's saved on your computer, then typically all you have to do is hit choose file and point to that receipt where it's saved at, and it will upload it from your computer. Okay, from your computer. Down here where it says miles, you see you have an option of claiming you have 3 vehicles that you can use to claim mileage, business miles. And here's what I say about business miles. When you leave your house, you want to leave your house with the mindset and the mentality that I'm a business owner and I'm leaving my house to do business. When you leave your house with that mentality, then now you won't have any problems with writing off miles. Now, once you leave your house, you do have to go to a temporary duty location, pass out a business card, pass out a brochure, talk to someone, then go to work, then leave work, stop at another duty location such as a gas station, Starbucks, or what have you, do the same thing, come home. Now those round trip miles are business miles, which later on is tax deductible. Okay? It's tax deductible. So you put your ending miles, or your beginning miles, and your ending miles. Now, for those, I'll say this. In IRS Publication 463, it talks about car and truck expenses. You have a video in your back office that talks about this as well. But here's the thing. The IRS says you can only keep track of either standard mileage rate or actual car expenses, but you cannot keep both. You cannot deduct both. So what you want to do in that scenario is you want to keep track of both of them to see which one is going to give you the most tax savings and go with that. So like, for instance, for me, I only accumulate maybe 6 miles round trip to work from my house to work. So that means I don't get a huge tax savings from deducting mileage from the standard mileage rate. So I elected to go with the actual car expenses. What are the actual car expenses? That is the upkeep of your car, maintenance, things of that nature, license, tag, insurance, things of that nature. Those are actual car expenses that you can deduct because now your personal vehicle is a business vehicle. All right? Your personal vehicle is your business vehicle. Let me back up and say this. Now that you're a business owner, I want everybody right now to take this word, rip it out of your vocabulary. Personal. You no longer have personal expenses. You have business expenses. Why? because the IRS says in every publication, personal living and family expenses are non-tax deductible. However, if those personal living and family expenses are used toward a business, those expenses are now tax deductible. Now, I asked the question, do you want non-tax deductible or deductible? The choice is yours. The choice is yours. But I'm saying, if you're a business owner, why not get your turn your expenses from personal to business expenses to where now they're tax deductible? That's what's going to allow you to open up the floodgates to all those tax deductions that you see in your cash flow manager list and others that you don't see. All right. Okay. Let's go back to the dashboard. All right. I'm gonna show you here in the reoccurring expenses here how you can set up reoccurring. So if you have an expense, if you will, that comes out on the same date or has the same amount, you can set up what you call reoccurring expenses. So let me go back to that. So as you can see, I got the cash flow manager fee set up as a reoccurring expense. So here at the bottom, you can set that up. You can set up weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually, what have you, right? And then here you set the date. And then in all these other demographics, you set it up here. You select your expense type, you do your date, the amount, who, what, and where. Then come down to the bottom and set your recurring status. And then from this point forward, the only thing that you need to do is when it pops up here at the top, all you got to do is hit confirm. Just double check. All it does is allow you to double check to make sure everything is in there is correct. And if it is, then hit save entry. Keeping this done. Now it will show up in your cash flow manager log. Okay. All right. Now let's do this. I know we are at tax season, and I know a lot of folks. For those who've been here for a while and seen my tax testimony, want to know how did Cedric get all these tax deductions? Let me show y'all how or what I start deducting. Okay. 2014. Here we go. All right, so we'll let that let that refresh for a second. While it's doing that, if anybody got any questions, go ahead and type in the chat box and let me know if you have any questions about the Cash Flow Manager software. Any questions with the Cash Flow Manager software? For the Periscope, type in your box there. Or for join.me, type in the box if you have any questions. Okay. As soon as this gets sorted out, we're going to go through it real quick. It's coming. While it's doing that, oh, here we go. Okay. So before I go through that, let me show you another feature here. Up in the reports feature, okay? Up in the reports feature, you have a couple of you got a couple of settings or features, if you will. Is the tax service $34.95 is where we turn our taxes into. The $34.95 gives you access to the tax advice services. So there is, when you click on that from your back office, there should be a number, a service number that you can call to get some tax advice. Okay. All right. So there under reports feature, all right, there is a little button that says profit and loss year to date. Yes, as far as I know, advice only, but call them and find out for certain. Okay, just call the services and find out for certain if they provide additional services other than tax advice. I have not used that service. I just know I have access to it. All right, profit and loss year to date. If you want at the end of the year, when you get ready to file your taxes, this is where your tax preparer is going to love you, right? Here's what happens. You can print out a year-to-date profit and loss report. So when you do that, here's what happens. It prints out a nice little Excel spreadsheet of your taxes, of your expenses in category order by month. Mainly, all your tax preparer want is numbers, totals. That's all he's going to do. He's going to be plug and playing numbers. All you're going to do is feed him numbers. So he's going to have, in his tax software, he's going to ask the question, well, how much, if you ran a business, okay, do you have any advertising costs or expenses? Yes, my year-to-date was $1,397.51. Okay, so he plugs that number in his tax software. Same thing for charity contributions. Same thing for dues and subscriptions, and so on and so on. All he wants to do is take your year-to-date totals of your expense categories and plug them in his tax preparation software to fill out your fill out your taxes. All right, this is all he wants is numbers. I'll leave that up. We might have to go back to it. All right. Also, you can export this same list or this same report in a PDF format by clicking on this button here. It's an export feature of your expenditures. And now you can email this to your tax preparer. So now he has an electronic copy of it. Okay? So you're able to okay, so the question is this. Do we put whole numbers in there? Yes, you do. Because here's why you want to do that. If you try to go and calculate your own percentage up front because you're not going to know it yourself, you're going to go in there and put your percentage in there. When you go and file your taxes and you give them the numbers, the tax preparer the numbers, now the tax software is going to deduct the percentage. Now you just cheated yourself. So don't go in there and try to calculate yourself the percentage. Let your tax preparer do that for you. So that means you put in the whole numbers in there. Did everybody understand that? Put your whole numbers as far as your total numbers of what your expenditure is. So like for instance, if I have an advertising cost of $13.17, I'm putting that total amount in there. I'm not going to go in there on the front end and figure out what my deduction percentage amount is up front, and then it's going to get another deduction percentage amount done again when I file my taxes. Put your whole amount in there and let your tax professional do figure out the expenditures for you. The tax preparation software is going to do that for them anyway. We don't have to do that. All we got to do is provide the numbers. Let me say that again. All you have to do is provide the numbers. Make sure that the numbers you are providing is the total amount. Home office expenses, no different. The software is going to go in and do the same thing. This is how the software does. On the IRS publication 535, business home use, there is a manual formula. If you go to that IRS publication, there's a manual formula where it asks the total number of square footage of usage for your business. So when you put that total number of square footage when you annotate that your total number of square footage, the total number of square footage is going to be used to determine your percentage of your home office use. All right? Don't try to do that yourself. Let your tax preparer do that for you, because the software is intelligent enough to do that for you. So that goes back to what I was saying earlier. Put your total amount in there. But then when it comes to the home office use, figure out what is your total square footage, because that's the question it's going to ask you. What's the total number of square footage that you use for your home office? Once the tax professional put that in their software, then now the software knows what percentage to deduct from your home office expense. Everybody understand that? Give me some hearts out there in Periscope if you understand that. Everybody there on join.me now. Everybody understand that on join.me. We're using whole amounts. Don't cheat yourself. All right? Now, what y'all looking at is my 2014 business expense report. So if y'all want to see how did I come up with all those deductions, let me show you what I did. So I had, as you can see, I had advertising costs. Okay, those are my advertising expenses. IRS publication 535. It talks about advertising costs. My Cashflow Manager software. Communications. So here is where I captured my cell phone, my internet, and my cable. All right. This is where I captured my cell phone, internet, and cable. If anybody's has the question, how can you write off cable? Let me help you with that. We all watch the news, right? We all watch the news to where we can get awareness of our surroundings, particularly when it comes to business. So if I'm watching a finance, I'm trying to think of that show that I watched that talks about finances, talks about Bloomberg finances, talk about stocks. If I'm looking at TV shows that help me enhance my business, you can best believe I'm going to write off cable. You can too. All right? You can too. And for those like myself, yeah, there you go, Drake. MSNBC money. MSNBC money. If we tune into those kind of shows, we are enhancing our financial IQ to enhance our business. Therefore, you are entitled to deduct cable as a business expense. All right. Now, some of y'all, like myself, have the bundle package because I got Charter or any other bundle package where you have both the internet and your cable. Just go ahead and put the total amount. Don't try to split it out. I was trying to do that at the beginning of the year, but I'm like, wait a minute. This is a bundle package. I'm just gonna put the total amount for both, and get the and get the deduction. I mean, get the percentage done on the back end. Okay. So that's communication. Equipment. So I had bought during 2014. I purchased me a new Mac laptop. Guess what? That was for my business. So I was able to deduct or claim the deduction of a new equipment for $1,100. No, yeah. At the same time, I bought me an HDMI cable, $27.48. All right. So that's equipment. Fees. These can be any kind of fees. Fees are business expenses. All right. Now we're getting in. Let's see. What is this? Home office utility. What is that? Okay, that is my water bill. Okay, so here's one home office expense. Here's my water bill. Montgomery Water Works. That is my total amount every month, $53.20. I did not chop off the percentage on the front end. I put my total amount in there. All right. Legal fees. Yep. 2014 was not a good year. Well, that wasn't something bad, but I needed legal services, and look at them. Look what's charging for my legal services. For legal services, $3,000 for to get an attorney to handle some business. But IRS Publication 529 says that as a business owner, I can deduct legal and professional services. You can too. Meals and entertainment. There's a long laundry list here because we always eat out. Look how much is meals and entertainment, $2,677. Meetings and seminars. Let me talk about meetings and seminars real quick. Meals and entertainment. IRS Publication 463, it talks about you can only deduct 50% maximum for meals and entertainment. However, if you want your meals or deduction, you want more of a percentage of the deductions, here's how you do that. Okay, let me stop real quick because I see a question. Someone asked about, but you said no house phones. There is a reason why I did not say no house phones. In that publication, your landline is non-deductible. The first line to your house is non-deductible. However, if you get a second line and you exclusively use that second line for your business, that second line is tax deductible. If it's part of the bundle, I do not care. If it's used if it's your first line to your house, you cannot deduct it. I'm just stating what the IRS publications say. Your first line to your first landline to your house, whether it's part of a bundle or not, is not tax deductible. Your second line can if it's used primarily for your business. But if you get a second line that's used for your personal, guess what? You can't deduct it. Remember, snatch personal out of your vocabulary. All right? Okay, back to meals and entertainment. So, in the IRS Publication 463, it talks about you can deduct up to 50%. Now, if you want to deduct more of that, let me show you how you can do that. So let's say that you do an in-home strategy session, right? And typically what we do is we want to go buy groceries and provide some snacks or whatnot. So if you go buy groceries, instead of putting groceries under meals and entertainment, put it under meetings and seminars. Remember, you got a maximum cap of 50% for meals and entertainment. But if you put it under meetings and seminars, then you can get more percentage of deductions. Okay, let me see. Is there another question? Okay, so let's see. Subtract it out. So if you have a landline in there and it's part of your bundle, subtract it out so that way all you're doing is capturing your internet and your cable. All right, I'm moving on. Supplies. All right. So supplies can be anything business related. Business cards. What else? Brochures. Anything that supports your business can be supplies. All right. Gas and oil. There's my mileage, my business mileage. There's my transportation repairs. So look at the total amount of transportation repairs for 2014. Roughly $5,000. But that was from getting tires. Here's one for 805. I couldn't even tell you. I had to open it up so you can see the type of maintenance upkeep on my vehicles. But everybody can deduct repairs if you're going with actual car expenses. So for me, I went with actual car expenses. There's some luggage in there. That's an airfare. That's an airline ticket we took. We took a trip. And when we got to the destination, you can best believe I did business. There's lodging here for hotel stay. There's travel, meals, and entertainment. So the travel, meals, and entertainment is a little bit different from your meals and entertainment. This is where travel, meals, and entertainment is where when you leave from your home city, okay? So when you're traveling from your home city, this is where you track your meals and entertainment away from your home city. All right? Wages. So this is where I was giving my daughters wages. That's another webinar that we're gonna go into as far as how to employ your children. So this is what these are wages that I gave my children. All I did was set up a custodial account, and basically what I did was I paid wages, which used to be allowances. I paid wages, put it in their custodial account, and so like if my daughters needed anything, like if I had a 14-year-old who he was a cheerleader, so when we needed to go purchase stuff for her cheerleader, I purchased it out of her account. So what's deductible is the wages. That's what's deductible is your wages. Okay? And as long as you don't go over the standard deductible amount, I think that's what, $300, then you're not required to pay FICA or Social Security. All right? So, for instance, if you got 2 children in the house and you give them wages of $6,300 a piece, that's $12,600 of deductible expenses and wages that you get to subtract from your total, subtracted from your total tax liability, just by employing your children. All right? So, in a nutshell, this is pretty much what my expenses look like 2014. And as you start doing the business, you'll start learning more of those deductions that you can deduct. But it's going to require everybody to stay plugged in, meaning get on an Alvin Curry training, get on a Brian Bean training, get on a Ivy Stokes training, or myself if I'm conducting any kind of team training. It requires to get on some form of training to get your IQ up. That's basically all I did. I just plugged into the various training venues to get my awareness up. It didn't come naturally. I want everybody to understand this. 21 months ago, I couldn't even spell IRS. I didn't even know what business ownership was. For 20-some years plus, well, almost 3 decades, all I knew was to go work a job. That's all I knew. But lo and behold, my econ landed in my lap, and it taught me some things that I did not know, and I learned along the way. And what I'm saying that to say this, there's a lot of information that we've been missing for 400 years. Don't try to get all those 400 years worth of information all in one time. It's going to take some time to learn some stuff, learn the basic stuff. What you're going to learn in your back office is they're going to talk about the common 7 tax deductions, and just learning those 7 common tax deductions is going to give you $20,000 to $30,000 worth of tax savings by itself, just from the 7. And I said earlier, you're entitled, or you have access to hundreds of tax deductions. So just think about it. If 7 common tax deductions give you roughly $20,000 to $30,000, what you think hundreds or more would do for you? See, it's more about just becoming a business owner, right? That is the first step. Now you need to know how money is generated, how money is generated in this society, so that way when you generate money or when you make a profit, now you have the IQ to know how to keep majority of your profit. Because if you don't, then now you're just throwing away, whether you're a business owner or just working a job. And as a business owner, we went into business to gain a profit, to have extra streams of income, right? But we're not going to be able to keep that extra streams of income if we're not understanding how taxes work. If we don't understand how to keep our debt low, if we don't understand how to keep our expenses low, if we don't understand how to take our positive cash flow from tax savings and debt elimination and go build another asset such as an investment, to where now we done built another stream of income through asset accumulation. See, it's more to just becoming a business owner. Now you got to learn how to run a business after the fact. Okay? And here in my econ, you get to learn that. All right? You learn as you earn. You learn as you earn. All right? So, for the Cashflow Manager training, all right? This concludes the Cashflow Manager training. Any questions regarding the Cashflow Manager as far as how to get it set up, what kind of deductions to claim, or what have you? Go ahead and chat for Periscope and JoinMe.now. Go ahead and type in the chat box and let me know what your questions are. All right. Questions going once. Questions going twice. Okay, so here's a question. May I deduct any of my gas mileage? Yes, you can. But remember what I said earlier, that the IRS says that you can claim, you can deduct either actual car expenses or standard mileage. If you go with the actual car expense deductions, gasoline is one of those deductions. Okay. In your back office. Oh, that's what I didn't do. I'm gonna go back to that because I'm gonna show you a documentation that's going to explain that. As a matter of fact, let me do that right now. Let me do that right now. All right. In your back office, you have another section called Docs, DOCS. In this section, you have documentation, training documentation at your disposal. The one that I want to take notice to is document 501, which is your common tax deduction information packet. Basically, what the company did was they put a quick guide together to give you a shorter version of IRS publications. Instead of you going out to the IRS.gov and try to read those 50 to 100 IRS publications, they made it what you call a quick guide. So let's go to that. That question there about can you deduct mileage? Gasoline. Made up before. Let's get. So these are the seven common ones that you're going to learn in my econ, all right? Car and truck expenses, interest, communication, meals and entertainment, travel, wages, and depreciation. So let's jump down on track. Remember how you got mileage? Here's a good representation here of how you deduct your business miles. Okay? Remember, if you see this line right here from your home to your regular job, you see where it says right here, never deductible, because you didn't do any business. However, if you leave your home, travel to another location, such as a gas station, Starbucks, or what have you, you pass out a business card. Guess what? Now, that's deductible. All right. That's how you make your miles deductible. Now, let's go down to actual car expenses. All right, here in the list is the actual car expenses. Here's all the stuff that you can write off. Depreciation, license, gas, oil, tolls, lease payments, insurance, garage rent. All of this you can write off if you go actual car expense deduction. With travel for meals and entertainment, it's the same 50%. For the question that was asked with travel, what percentage of your meals can you deduct? All right. So any questions on any other questions as far as deductions? I highly recommend, because you all, for the new associates, I highly recommend go into this documentation, because it's a 12-page documentation, and it will give you the left and right limits of what you can and cannot write off and what the percentage are, because it spells it out right here in the IRS public documents here. Okay. Also, in your back office, where I told you where all the training videos are, it will explain it in the training videos. But I want to show that these documentations in your back office to where you can look at your disposal. All right? Are there any other questions? Going once, going twice? All right. Lastly, let's go over the W-4. And this will wrap it up. All right. So everyone should have W-4 in front of them. If not, if you don't follow along during this webinar, then what you can do is go into your back office under Minimize Tax Strategy and click on the second video called Tax Withholding W-4. You can follow along Mr. Ivy Stokes from that video, and what he's going to do is explain line by line, both front and back, of how to fill out the W-4. I'm going to quickly go through it, kind of help with some folks for the ones who do have the W-4 in front of them right now. But for others, you can simply go to your back office and listen to the video and follow along, okay? All right, so let's get this started here on the W-4. The purpose of the W-4 is so that your employer can withhold the correct federal income tax from your pay. Consider completing a new W-4 form each year and when your personal or financial situation changes. What is a personal or financial situation change? If you get married, that's a financial change. If you get divorced, that's a financial change. If you get a child, that's a financial change. If you own real estate, stocks, bonds, that's a financial change. So anytime your financial situation changes, we should be redoing this W-4, because the thing is, we want the proper withholding from our paycheck. If we don't have the proper withholding, then that means majority of our money, our paycheck, is going to taxes when it doesn't need to be. All right? All right, so let's go through this real quick. The front side is fairly simple. And if anybody didn't know, there's a front and a back side to this, all right? The front side is where we're going to capture your personal side, and your back side is where we itemize, all right? So let's go through your personal side real quick. So line A, enter one for yourself if no one else can claim you. Well, you know, if anyone is not claiming you, then you should put a 1 there. All right, line B, enter 1 if you are single and have only one job, you are married and have only one job, and the spouse does not work, or your wages for a second job, or your spouse wages are $1,500 or less, then you can put a 1 there. So look at those 3 criteria there. Find the one that fit you, and if either one of those fit you, you put a 1. If you don't fit those 3 criteria, that means you put a 0. Okay, line C, enter 1 for your spouse. This is strictly for folks who are married. If you're married, enter 1 for your spouse. If you're single, you can't use line C. Pretty much self-explanatory. Line D, enter number of dependents. Everybody know how many dependents you have. Put that number of dependents. So if you got 2 children, put 2 there on that line. Line E, enter 1 if you file as head of household on your taxes. Now, look at the top. I'm going to read the definition of what a head of house is because I had to learn myself. Generally, you can claim head of household filing status on your tax return only if you are unmarried and pay more than 50% of the cost of keeping up a house or home for yourself and your dependents or other qualified individuals. See publication 501, exemption standard deductions and filing information for information. So, if you are married, guess what? You can't claim head of household. If you are single, okay, and you're providing 50% or more of your costs for the upkeep of your home for yourself and your dependents, you are entitled to claim head of household. All right? If you're married, you cannot claim head of household. All right, line F. If you have at least $2,000 of child or dependent care expenses, this is mainly talking about child daycare things, after school program things of that nature. If those are your expenses, if you have those kind of expenses, then you put a 1 there. If you don't, you don't put nothing there. All right. Line G, child tax credit. So you got 2 criteria down there to claim child tax credit. First criteria, if your total income will be less than $70,000 if you're single. If you're married, $100,000. Enter 2 for each eligible child, less 1 if you have 2 or 4 eligible children, or less 2 if you have 5 or more eligible children. Now, I know that's a little tongue twister there, but let's go with the first criteria. If your total income be less than $70,000, so if your income is less than $70,000, right, and you have 1 child, I'm using this scenario, if you have 1 child, then on line G, that number would be 2. All right? If you were married, let's use this scenario. If you're married and you're making $100,000 and you have 2 children, in that scenario, line G will be 4. Okay? Now, the second criteria, if your total income will be between $70,000 and $84,000, single, or $100,000 and $119,000, married, now you enter a 1 for each eligible child. As opposed to if you're making $70,000 single or below, or $100,000 if you're married below, that was 2. On this criteria, you enter 1. So find where you fit in as far as between those 2 criteria, as far as your total wages, and then from there, you know how many dependents that you have, and then from there, put the total amount there on line G. And then line H, you just add up lines A through G to get your total. All right. Let's go to the now. That is pretty too. Now, here's what I say to a lot of folks who trying to fill out the back. If if you itemize, meaning you filed a Schedule C in the previous year, then you're gonna complete lines 1, 2, and 3. Okay? If you itemize, meaning if you fill out a Schedule C in the previous year, you will fill out lines 1, 2, and 3. If you just filled out a Schedule A, 1040 Schedule A, which means all you did was you did standard itemized tax credit and standard itemized deductions, then you will not fill out 1, 2, and 3. So the question was, if you have a spouse, should her W-4 look like identical to yours? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. Okay. So if your tax preparer tell you, and this is where it was jacking me up. I had my tax preparer saying, well, you got 2 children, let your wife claim 1 and you claim 1. That's wrong answer. That is the wrong answer. That's not capturing your correct withholdings. All right. Your spouse should, if you and your spouse filling out a W-4, you and your spouse should look identical. Okay, here's another question. What if you file separate? Okay, so if you file separate, good question. So if you file a separate, and let's say that you yourself is in the business, right? Then your spouse W-4 will not look like yours. Okay. Now on the front, he can claim on the front. Let me back that up. On the front, your standard tax credit and your standard itemized deductions will look the same on the front of your W-4. What's going to be different on the back side is going to be different, because now on the back side, you'll be claiming itemized deductions. And so if your spouse is not in position to claim itemized deductions, his backside of the W-4 will not look like yours, as opposed to you being in the business. Does that make sense? Yeah, I see Andre answer that. So yeah, the front side, that's for your standard tax credits and standard itemized deductions. The front side of the W-4 will be the same. What will be different is the back side. Okay? What will be different is the back side. All right. So again, let me repeat. If you claim itemized deductions in the previous year, you'll be filling out lines 1, 2, and 3. If you just claim standard itemized tax credit and standard itemized deductions, you will skip lines 1, 2, and 3. All right. Now, for those who did itemize, right, for line number 1, if you want to know what that number is, go back to your previous your previous taxes, schedule 1040, Schedule A, line 40, and you'll see that number there for line 1. Just pull that number off of your previous schedule from your 1040, line 40 for line 1. This is only if you itemize in the previous year. If you file a standard, you're not worried about the first 3 lines. The first 3 lines, yes. Okay, so there was another question. What if both are in the business? If they both are in the business, in regarding to your W-4, your W-4 should look similar, close to it. Now, keep in mind that your income will probably be different, right? But for the most part, if you both are in the business, then your W-4s, both front and back, should closely be similar. All right? All right, so let's go through this form real quick, because this is the last thing. We're gonna wrap it up here. All right. So again, if you itemizing, another question. Let's see. All right, hold on real quick. All right, let me run through this form real quick, then I come back and answer the question, because I want to get this out of the way. All right. So let's say that you're itemizing here, all right? So go to 1040, line 40, and capture that number and put it on line 1. Line 2, enter 12,600 if you're married filing jointly. Enter 9,300 if you're head of household, and enter 6,300 if you're single or married. So you know your status here. Just go ahead, whatever filing status that you're going to claim here on line 2, put that standard deductible amount there on line 2. Next, subtract line 2 from line 1. All right? That will give you the total for line 3. Line 4, enter an estimate of your 2016 adjustment of income and any additional standard deductions. That's basically if you have excuse me. So this is nothing more than an estimate of standard deductions. All it is an estimate. So basically, when you get in business, you start learning more of what your standard deductions are. If you don't know what those are, go to publication 505 and see what those standard deductions are. So on this line here, what we typically do is we start everybody off with a standard deductible amount of $4,050. 2016, it went up. Last year was $4,000. This year it went up $50. So for line 4, we're going to start off with $4,050 as conservative. All right. But as you start doing the business, you start learning more of your adjustment to income, then now you can put a estimated amount there on line 4. But for all intents, practical purposes, for conservative, let's go with $4,050 for everybody to start off with. Okay. Line 5, add lines 3 and 4. Okay, line 6. Enter an estimate of your 2016 non-income. This is basically if you got mutual funds, investments, IRAs, things of that nature, to where you're getting capital gains or dividends that you're getting from those types of assets. That this is where you put that amount. And if you don't have any, then this will be 0. But for those who have, and we're not talking about 401ks, this is something outside of your 401k investment. We're talking about individual IRAs, individual mutual funds, real estate, farmland, gold, silver, precious jewelry, those kind of things. Okay. All right, line 7, subtract line 6 from line 5. Now we get you your total. Line 8, divide that amount that's on line 7 by $4,050 and enter the results here. Basically, this is what's happening here. The IRS is saying for every $4,050, you gain one more allowance. For every $4,050, the IRS says they're gonna give you one extra allowance. So hypothetically, if line 7, you have $40,000 on line 7, on line 8, that should come out to be 9.85 point whatever. So you drop the decimal. So that means you gain 9 allowances. Because basically, you took 4,000 and divided by 40,000 of your deductions, $40,000 worth of your deductions divided by $4,050, and that's how you came up with that fraction amount. So look at here. Your business brought you $40,000 of deductions, which allowed you to gain 9 more allowances that you were not getting before. That's the power of having income-producing assets such as a home-based business. That's going to allow you to gain deductions to where now you're gonna get more allowances, and so the more deductions that you get, the more allowances that you accumulate, the less taxes is going to be withheld from your paycheck. Now you start seeing more of your own money come back to you bi-weekly, because now you have your business is allowing you to gain more allowances year in and year out. Now, I don't know about you all, but for those who make 6 figures and more and all that good stuff, saying, well, I got it going on, everybody got to pay taxes. Me personally, if you're making more money, all that means is the more you make, the more Uncle Sam takes. So you want to put yourself in a position to where now Uncle Sam doesn't take much of your money, whether you're making 6-figure income or not. Everybody should want tax savings, in my book. I would, not unless they just like to pay. Now look, this is nothing about not paying taxes. This is about paying your fair share and not overpay your taxes. If you're the type of person that wants to overpay your taxes, by all means, go ahead and give that money away. Me personally, if I'm going to give my money away, I'd rather give it away to charitable contribution to where I can at least get a tax deduction from it. But I'm not going to give my money away to where I'm not going to get anything from it. And when you overpay your taxes, that's essentially what you're doing. You just giving away. If you got it like that, please give it to me. All right? So this is why having a business is going to allow you to fill out the backside of it and gain more allowances. All right? So now, line 9, enter the number of personal allowances from your worksheet. So whatever your total amount that you had on your front side, now you bring that over to the to the back. So say, for instance, from the front side, you had a total of 5 allowances. Now here, let's just say, for sake of example, that you got additional 9 allowances here on the back. Now you add lines 8 and 9. Now you have a total of 14 allowances that you have to turn in to your employer to withhold from your paycheck. All right? You have a total of 14 allowances that you get to turn in to your employer to withhold from your paycheck. All right? And once that is done, Once you complete line 10, then now you take that amount, what's annotated on line 10, and you put it on line 5, and you turn this form in. All right. But again, I just went through this real quick, but you have a video by Ivy Stokes in your back office under minimize tax strategies, how to fill out a W-4. Go through that video and go with him line by line on filling out that W-4. Okay. Now, let me open this up for questions.
Yes, you are. Okay.
All right. Do we have any questions? Because this is about the end of the webinar. Do we have any questions about your back office, your W-4, or your Cashflow Manager software? Any questions? All right, let me go to join that meeting. Let me see if any questions I hear that I did not address. Okay, so here's a question out here. Let's see. Okay, so Jake has a question that line 1 on the second page of your W-4. I thought that was supposed to be our estimated business expenses. Yes. Yes. If you have estimated business expenses, whatever is on 1040, line 40 on your previous form, that's what's supposed to go on line 1. Okay, Jake? All right, next question. What if I'm single with no dependents? Can I claim head of household?
Yes.
Yes, you can. Let me go back and read what head of household. Here we go. Head of household. Generally, you can claim head of household filing status on your tax return only if you are unmarried and pay more than 50% of cost of keeping up your house for yourself and your dependents. So we already know that you're single. So far you met the criteria. Now my next question is, do you pay more than 50% of keeping up a house or running a household? If the answer is yes, then you claim head of household. All right? All right. Any more questions? Comments? Concerns? Respect the criticism. Okay. We got one more question. What you got? Hold on. All right, I had to put y'all back on mute. All right, so let's see. You own some stocks. How many withholdings? I do not know. What you have to do is go back to your 1040 of your of if you file stocks last year, which is itemized deductions. What you need to do is go back to your 1040 line 40, and in there it will show all your itemized deductions for stocks. That amount is carried over to your schedules to your W-4 in the back. And yes, you can claim stocks, but I do not know how many withholdings. Ooh. All right, here's another question. Can you claim dependents on your W-4 if you don't claim them on your taxes because I'm married filing separately? Okay. So for the viewer who asked that question, you married filing separately. Am I under the assumption that you not claim them because you don't have full custody? If you have them, no wife claims them. So if your wife claims them, then you can't claim them on your W-4. However, okay, and this is something that you probably gonna have to work out an agreement. If you employ if she allows you to employ your children into your business, and you give your children a wages, then at that point, now your child or your children becomes tax deductible because you've given them wages for you employing them into your business and giving them business responsibilities. That would be your workaround. She's claiming your children for her personal side, but you can claim them on your business side if you can work that agreement out to where you can she allow you to employ your children into your business, and then you give your children the wages, and you write the wages off as a tax deduction for your business. Does that make sense? So yes, your W-4 will not look the same. Your W-4 would not look the same in that scenario. All right, question. Can you buy coupons and save for a rainy day? You sure can. You can use the coupons at any given time. Those are your coupons at your disposal. You can purchase coupon anytime you get ready. They only will be redeemed if you give them or a person that coupon code. Otherwise, it would just sit in your back office until it's being used. But yes, you can use the coupon and save it for a rainy day. Yes, you can. All right. Any other questions? Periscope, I'm still looking at you. Do you have any questions? So to my Periscope folks out there, I hope y'all found some value from the training tonight. Give me some hearts if you did. My goal is to do this. We're gonna have scheduled. We're gonna try to have scheduled training for us to have, so we can kind of stay abreast of some things. Because I know we have Ivy Stokes training, we have Alvin Curry, and we have Brian Bean. Okay, so we can easily plug into those three training. But as far as team training, we can schedule these like every other week or something like that. And that's my spirit is kind of toying with me with the idea of setting up a scheduled bi-weekly team training, meaning legacy builder training. And for those who do not know, we have a team name, Legacy Builders. We have t-shirts coming. We got a hashtag, Legacy Builders, hashtag Legacy Builders. So when you post out here on your social media of choice or email of choice or texting or whatnot, use the hashtag, y'all. So this way, one, it helps identify who we are on the team, but two, it helps with branding because people want to, excuse me. Okay, I'm back. So, because people want to join organizations or a group of folks who they see doing positive things, right? And so, when people start seeing, a group of people doing something positive within the community, they're more apt to get, to join that organization or that group. And so we want to build a culture of a community, of a team of folks, of believers. I said before at the beginning of this conference was that you're in a community of believers, and we believe in living in prosperity, but we understand prosperity is not automatic. We have to do things in order to, we have to have prosperity habits in order to get prosperity results. And in this business, right, we have a community of folks that help folks build that, all right? We have a community of folks that helps build that. Can we build a, Tony, flash that again because that came up real fast. Can we build a page for Legacy on Facebook? We can do that. But here's the thing. Now we already have a team page. What we can do is we can redesign the team page that we already have out there, and put the brand out there on the team page that we already have. So this way we don't have multiple team pages going on, because we already have quite a few team pages as it is, right? We got the Extra Digital Movement team page already. We have a team page that we have exclusively for legacy builders. Basically, all we have to do is change, just tweak the team page that we already have to make it look like the legacy builder. So we'll look into that. But that's a good idea, though, Tom. That's a good idea. All right. So back to joinme.now. Anybody there that has a question, any comments, any gripes? Did anybody find value from the training? Did anybody did not find any value from the training? If not, please let me know, because me personally, I want to improve every day. My job or my goal is to be the better person that I was the day before. And I know I'm not going to get everything right, right? So I'm going to make mistakes. I'm not going to reach out to everybody. So that's why I ask, if I need to improve on something, let me know. Any respected criticism, I highly will entertain it. Okay? Let me know if there's something I need to add in the training, or is there something about the way that I deliver the training. By all means, let me know, and then I'll adjust accordingly, because my goal is to make sure that everybody that comes to the training gets some value added, because value added equates to confidence. And so when you have confidence, now you have confidence to go talk to someone about what we're doing. Let me see. Here's a question. Do you suggest we keep up with both miles and repairs and see which one? Yes. So the question is, do you suggest we keep up with both miles and repairs and see which one is more? Yes. Do that for between 60 to 90 days and see which one is going to give you the most tax savings, all right? So, because that's what it really boils down to. You want tax savings, and you want the ones that's going to give you the biggest tax savings. All right. So see which one is going to give you the tax savings. If mileage is going to be your biggest tax savings, go with the standard mileage rate deduction. If actual car expenses give you the biggest tax savings, go with the actual car expenses tax deduction. Okay. Viewer 10, I don't know who that is. I want people to be able to go directly to the web address. What web address are you referring to? Viewer 10, let me know what web address are you referring to, okay? Let's see, viewer 59. It looks like you're saying, so we can't deduct both. No. When it comes to car and truck expenses, you cannot deduct both. Go and let me point you to the common tax deduction that's in your quick guide, document 501. It clearly states that you cannot deduct both. You have to choose one or the other in one calendar year. All right? You cannot deduct both. However, keep track of both to see which one is going to give you the biggest tax savings. All right? Keep track of both to see which one is going to give you the biggest tax savings. But at the end of the year, when you get ready to file your taxes, you're only going to be able to claim either standard mileage rate deductions or actual car and truck expenses tax deduction, okay? But you cannot claim both. But let me refer you again. Go to, okay, hey, Rhonda, how you doing? All right, now I know who viewer number 10 is, all right? So go back to document 501 and go through that 12 pages. It won't take you long to go through those 12 pages, okay? If not the 12 pages, go to the car and truck expense video in your back office. It'll be explained in the video. All right? That's the whole thing about having resources, business tools at your disposal. Because you don't have to wait on Cedric's webinar to find out these questions. You have all these tools in your back office. That's the reason why I did the back office familiarization, to show you where all those stuff's at. You got all the training videos, you got all the documents in your back office. When I conduct the webinars, my webinars should be nothing more than a refresher. It shouldn't be nothing more than a refresher. All right. So Rhonda, you're saying your rcox.mike, that is your web address link that if you want to send folks to, if they want to know more about my econ, that will be your web address link that you send them to. Did that answer your question, Rhonda? All right, any other questions? Any other questions, comments, concerns? Going once, going twice, 3 times. All right. Look, I've held y'all on this conference call long enough, right? But I do appreciate everyone jumping on, and my whole intent was not to be on here long, but I just merely wanted to get on here to get everybody caught up to speed, particularly the new business owners, on showing them where all their tools are and how to get started. All right. And that was my whole main goal, is to help the new business owners get caught up to speed with the rest of us. Now, so again, I'm gonna try to have these scheduled these webinars on various different types of training. I'm thinking about doing another tax training since we're in the tax season, and shortly thereafter, I'll do another training on investments. All right, so that's coming. So, without further ado, it's about what, 9:12. We've been on here long enough. I just want to say that welcome to my econ, and you're not here by mistake. And the value of starting a business, right, is this: we all want tax savings. We all want to improve our finances. So let's stay plugged in to get the right information, so that way the information can change our situation. All right? Because I always say information, when you can upgrade your information, you can always upgrade your situations and your circumstances. All right? So let's stay plugged in. Team pages out there. I put some tax tips or some business building tips out there, to include Mr. Stinson and others. And you can stay plugged in that way. The Extra Digit Movement is another closed page that they put stuff out there to keep you abreast. Please, by all means, stay plugged in. The only way that you can recharge your battery is to stay plugged in. That's the only way you're going to recharge your battery. If you keep your battery unplugged, that means you got a dead battery. If you got a dead battery, that means your business is dead. All right? We don't want anyone to have a dead business. So keep your battery plugged up, so that way you can keep the information flowing. All right? So I just want to say good night to everybody, and thank y'all for coming on. Yep, don't forget, February, Game Changer. We'll put some more stuff out there for Game Changer. And some other upcoming team strategy sessions, all right? All right, we're gonna sign off, and we're gonna say good night to everybody.